back to school week.
Yes.
We're ready for school. And if your kids are like mine, they're here right here, that means they'll be walking around with bulging backpacks.
Oh, my goodness. Are you guys ready? No.
Yeah.
I know. You're ready. I got one yes, one no. We've all seen the stories about backpack giveaways for kids, right? So how do we make sure that the bags are loaded properly and they're not causing themselves physical problems? That's what our next guest is here to tell us.
Yeah, she is orthopedic clinical therapist Karena Wu. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
You know, the one thing is, I think we just pack up our backpacks and just deal with it and don't think about how important it is to be wearing a backpack correctly, because there is a correct way, right?
There is absolutely a correct way, and it's really important for both children and adults, because if you don't carry your backpack well, it can cause musculoskeletal issues like neck, shoulder, low back pain, but it can also cause other conditions like complaints of headache, nerve damage, and even mood changes if their posture is really poor.
Wow.
Right. I'm about to tell you, I just started using this device here, the chest strap, because of my back pain. Because I was always a one-armed my whole life. But is it a lot of kids just throw it on? Do you guys do that? Look, are you doing it?
Yeah.
Just one arm.
So yes, the incorrect way of wearing a backpack is using one strap only, having the strap too long, and she knows you want to put the heavier weight closer to the back. You want to use the pockets to disperse the load. She knows, right?
I usually do this.
When the bag is too heavy. If the bag is too heavy and too low, look at her posture. She's very forward head, forward shoulder. And this is that bad posture that can cause neck pain, shoulder pain, headaches, things like that.
Okay.
And it's important to carry no more than 10 to 20% of body weight in the backpack, and the ideal is 10% of your body weight.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
So let's take a look at that then, because she's about 70 pounds and she's just a few pounds lighter. So how much should they have in this backpack?
So the ideal is 7 pounds, right? 10% of 70, with the max being 14. And if you lift her book back, probably it's a little bit more sometimes, and parents won't weigh them, right? So you want to make sure the max is 10 to 20% of the body weight in the backpack.
So do I have to adjust her straps then?
Yes, the straps would go tighter.
Okay.
And there's all these other components of backpacks that are better for the child. So a thinner strap is not as ideal. You want a padded, contoured, and like ventilated strap.
Okay.
Padding on the back of the backpack is also very good, because just in case the books poke out through them. Chest, you have a chest strap. This is more of a waist strap. These are great for holding the straps onto you.
What about where the backpack should literally hit, it should be hitting the top of your booty? I don't mean to say it's so funny, but like where exactly should it be laying?
This backpack should be closer to her torso. So the weight is the heavier weight is closer towards the back, and then the backpack itself is closer to the back.
Right.
So that, because this is, look at the way it's pulling her down and back, what she's going to do is she's going to
But here's the thing,
forward.
Doc, because a lot of the high schoolers, right, they want to be cool, and they think it's cool if it's low hanging.
Low, 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 and one strap only, but you look really cool, but you might complain of neck pain, back pain, things like that.
So is that better now that we've adjusted it?
This is completely better. It probably could go a little bit higher.
Okay.
Right?
How do you feel?
So
It
it should be better there.
Is that more comfortable?
Yeah.
Yes, it's more comfortable. And then if you've got a lot of weight, so also you don't want to carry anything that's unnecessary. So check the child's backpack to make sure that they're not carrying things they don't need to. But heavier
Let's see what we got in
weight-
those bags.
Let's see. Is this necessary?
Yes, that is necessary.
Those cute little froggy headbands.
They're cute. Okay, the heavier weight should go into rolling backpacks if the school allows them as well. So you do need to check about that. And then multiple pockets to distribute the load.
Okay.
Because the backpacks are a little bit heavy. They're carrying around things that they want and that they need.
What does the chest strap do?
The chest strap keeps the straps closer together to you, and then it also keeps the backpack closer to your torso.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
whenever you have heavier weight further away from the torso, it increases the forces down the spinal column.
Okay, you guys got enough
Look
books
at
in
their
there?
unpacking.
Oh,
see,
it
they
turns
do.
into a rolly.
There's
Great
turn.
rolly.
See, there's.
What is that?
It's a minion.
Oh,
Oh
a
my
minion.
goodness.
I
Okay.
And I like that it turns into
Can
a
you show
rolly.
them how yours actually transforms? Because their bags are so heavy.
That's great.
So when they get off the bus, I'm like, how are you carrying this?
So
That's actually
the
fantastic.
Harry Potter book, which we all love Harry Potter.
No.
Yeah.
Probably right in between her studies, but does she need to carry it around? If you don't need to carry it around, she shouldn't really carry it around. It just saves their bodies in the long run.
You know what's interesting too, because a lot of the high schoolers too, I remember me in high school, I used to put every book in the backpack because I was afraid I wasn't gonna have enough time to get to the locker. But I didn't think it was, I didn't want to have one of these because like it was like bumping into people in the hallway.
It's not as cool, we know, but it really saves your body because you don't have to carry anything. You need to lift it up the stairs maybe, but not carrying weight doesn't stress your joints.
You may not realize it now at their age, right? The back pain and stuff. It comes like when you're our age.
Yes.
And
standing with your backpack also, you don't, like I said, you don't want to stand in this slouch position. You also don't want to stand with one hip. Don't move. You don't want to stand in that one hip position because you're loading just one side.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
So stand up nice and tall. Distribute your weight equally between both legs and then pull your core in a little bit. Nice open chest. You're using your muscles to offset the load down the spinal column.
Yeah, and then do that stretch once you get done.
Right.
Which you've taught us before.
Yes.
Right? So you good?
What do you guys like better, the wheelie or the on the backpack? Wheelie,
The
right?
wheelie, yes.
That's a cool
So
thing
we can
you
teach
got
her to
there.
stand up nice and tall there. There you go.
But you know what they actually like better? When mommy and daddy hold the back.
Oh.
Of course, of course.
These are great outfits too for back to school, huh?
And too bad they wear uniforms.
Oh, yeah, I know.
They head back to school tomorrow. Thank you, such great advice.
You're welcome.
That not only they, but we as parents can use as well.
I'm going to talk about back sweat in a different segment, right? Because I feel like some backpacks create a serious back sweat problem, okay?
Ventilated, padded ventilated backs. Yes, it helps with that.
Gotcha.
Thanks
Very
again for
good.
coming in.
Thank you.
9:50, everybody. We'll be right back. Good job, girls.